Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Success with Ces, where we help you make your dreams come true. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and leave your comments and questions because I love to interact. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Success with Ces. Today, I'm with a good friend of mine, Sylvia Casares of Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen, right here on Woodway and Windrock across from the Second Baptist Church in the Tanglewood area. And she's actually signing one of her books, and I'll show this book to you in just a minute. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
This is
so
fun. This is fun having you on the show.
Wow.
Because,
thanks for selecting me.
Oh, well, it was a no-brainer when I saw your post on Facebook about teaching at the school. That was really awesome. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and before we get into teaching at the cooking school in New York City, let's talk a little bit about Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen right here on Woodway.
Well, I've been in business in Houston since 1998, and through the years, my restaurant evolved into having probably in the beginning, about 10 different enchiladas, and then eventually I renamed it Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen as a way to market what my customers just absolutely raved about. And so, so I named it Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen, and then after a couple of years of that, I thought, well, I better get good at fajitas because people would come to the restaurant, but then they would try my fajitas, and my fajitas were average, but they weren't amazing. So I decided I also had to have amazing fajitas.
Yes, and they are, folks.
Yes,
get over here to Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen, ASAP.
This is my second unit. I started way out on the west side of Houston on Westheimer, close to Highway 6, and I relocated to this Tanglewood location in 2009. And so when I moved here, I decided to step it up and do a wood grill for my fajitas.
Yeah, it's really good, folks. Laura and I get over here all the time, and never disappointed. So one of the interesting things that I've noticed on the menu is you've got them split off north and south. And so
north and south of the border.
Talk a little bit about that. That's interesting.
So
yeah.
Enchiladas are actually the original enchiladas, the first ones ever made, were of course created in Mexico, and all enchiladas
south of the border,
right? All enchiladas are made with a corn tortilla. It's a filling with a sauce. And so the south of the border ones, the filling typically is white cheese, pork, seafood, or chicken, and that's the filling for enchiladas. The topping is made with either green tomatillos, red tomatoes, or chilies. So that's their sauces. Mm-hmm. North of the border, our enchiladas are primarily the iconic sauce of Texas, which is our chili gravy, that chili gravy recipe was originated in the southern part of Texas probably 150 years ago. My recipe that we use here is the exact copy of that. It's a very savory, very rich gravy made.
And would that include the wheat tortillas?
No, that all of those are corn.
Okay, those are corn.
The fillings in Tex-Mex in north of the border are going to be yellow cheese, not white cheese. Mexico's yellow cheese, white cheese, we're yellow cheese in Texas.
Right.
Beef, either ground beef or fajita beef, now that fajitas are so popular. And then I have some that are spinach, squash, crab, and some others that I created. And since I'm a native Texan,
yes,
I claimed them as north of the border. Plus, they're enchiladas that you would not find in Mexico.
And that's what I like about the menu.
Yeah.
There's the south of the border items, and then there's a north of the border. So you've got your choice, and
We now have 20 different kinds of enchiladas, about half and half.
there's something here for everybody.
Yes,
Absolutely.
there's something. Yeah, vegetarians and people watching their diet, and then the richer food.
Right. Right.
The chili gravy with the beef fajita enchiladas, very, very popular.
So very creative. You've got the book here that you were autographing for me
Yes.
a little while ago. It's awesome. The Enchilada Queen Cookbook. Tell me the inspiration of this, and that you had a major publisher involved in this too.
Well, what happened was in 2015, I was invited to compete in New York and on the beat Bobby Flay, and so I went ahead and took the challenge and headed over there. But I also took a bunch of my food with me in some like freezer ice chests. And while I was in New York, I also called on some publishers and with my food samples. So I went in there, had a meeting with them, and let them taste my food. And one of them said yes. And so they wanted to team up with me, partner with me on making my enchiladas. So
That is awesome. That's a great story. That's a great
so
story.
anyway, I didn't win. I didn't get to beat Bobby Flay, but I did sell my cookbook.
That's awesome.
So
That's a
that
great
was
story.
I was glad that I went, because I don't know that I would have made a trip to New York to peddle my cookbook.
Yeah, maybe I'll take mine to New York.
Yes, that's how I did it.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about cooking at the school that I saw that.
I have a cooking school. I started teaching cooking classes all over Houston, and it was always kind of like a lot of work because I had to take my food and I had to haul an assistant. And so one day I just thought, well, why don't I just do it here at my restaurant? And so I started by teaching tamales during 2005 during the holidays.
Okay.
And it was so successful that then I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll just teach other things. So I just started adding to my curriculum.
Okay, and so you have ongoing cooking classes here
On Saturdays. And we do private classes, private events sometimes. So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I've even done a children's cooking class. So, I mean, it's been...
Nice.
Yeah.
And last week you were in New York City teaching.
Right. As I was telling you earlier, I was honored by being a semi-finalist in James Beard Top Chef. And from that, I ended up getting an invitation to teach at the Degustibus cooking school in Macy's. Macy's being the oldest retailer in the country.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I had been in Macy's years ago, but I really was all over that store. I couldn't believe how large it was. Anyway, on the 8th floor, they have a school. They've had it for 40 years, and you name the chef has been there to teach. Julia Childs and Anthony Bourdain and Emerald and
Amazing.
Anybody.
We're in great company here, folks.
Well, I mean, little old me was there, but I was glad that I was honored with that. And I did a hands-on. We made flour tortillas. I taught them how to make an amazing fajita like we make them here. And Mexican rice, home-style Mexican rice, and Mexican-style lemonade, which is a little different than what you would get here. And I mean, they just had a ball. They had an absolute ball. So did I.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Folks, I'm with Sylvia Casares of the Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen here on Woodway. Tell the folks, pretty much what to expect when they come, and if you have anything in particular for the summer months as we were coming.
Well, everything is handmade, fresh. It's totally fresh.
Not a chain. Not a chain.
No, there's another
Tex-Mex,
one.
Yeah.
I have one more unit in the Energy Quarter, and this one, and there will probably never be another Sylvia's. I doubt. I've had offers, but I want to continue with my quality. And I used to advertise that these were enchiladas to drive for, because this is a destination point restaurant, so we get people that could drive distances because of the unique flavors we have here. We also have great margaritas. So people tell me I'm not much of a drinker. I don't drink that much margaritas, but we have a great bar and we have an amazing patio, covered, and it is located on the side street.
Yes.
And so it's
Yes.
kind of quiet. It's completely covered, ceiling fans. It's really nice.
Yes, we've eaten out there in the late fall. It's so lovely out there
Yes.
in the late fall, early springtime.
Yeah, it's a little warm right now, but not so much in the evenings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have a private room, and for parties, little events, and it's a beautiful restaurant.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. So, folks,
Come see us.
yeah, come by and see Sylvia at Sylvia's Kitchen, Sylvia's Enchilada Kitchen on Woodway. You're going to be pleased with the cuisine here, and cooking classes on Saturdays, and there's a private room for events too. So, once again, thank you for joining us here on Success with Ces. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave your comments and questions for Sylvia.
I'd love that.
We'd love to interact and come by anytime. Thanks again for joining us.
Bye.
Bye bye.